You see, Randy, whilst you were reading, I was making some notes. I think that we are back to the same point.
Which point?
And the point is that we've wasted 7 years doing nothing about the fundamentals of the economy. We've wasted 7 years doing absolutely nothing. Because you see,
we forget about the lecture, restoring the value of the city.
Exactly where I was going. Because if you look at the lectures of Dr. Bawumia at Central University and the wild claims that were made, and if you look at the result, the scorecard today, it clearly puts the matters in proper perspective, that we have wasted 7 years and never again should the destiny of this country be toyed or joked with. Look, the MPP, under the watch of Dr. Bawumia, idea of stabilizing the Ghana city is borrowing, and borrowing. And so, right from 2017, they had to do 2.25 billion Franklin Templeton bonds. The next year, they now went into the Eurobond market itself. And in the space of 5 years, have done $11 billion of Eurobond. What has been the appetite for Eurobond? To provide an artificial strength for the Ghana city in the past year. And so, immediately when, in 2022, the various credit rating agencies, looking at how unsustainable our debts have become, decided to downgrade us, the CD went to the roof, going as far up to almost 17, and then came down subsequently. Now, what has been the underlying causes? When you have a situation where you shore up your reserve with borrowed funds, anytime that the reserve goes down, you have these kind of challenges. And that is what it is. Because you see, Randy, you would notice that immediately the credit rating agencies downgraded us, and the international Eurobond market was locked up relatively, what we had to do was for Bank of Ghana to step in and started printing more money for the administration. And so we did in excess of 40 billion Ghana cedis, equivalent to the $2 billion that we're doing annually to fill in the gap. And so if you watch the dynamics, there's nothing really that can be done. And in fact, if you listen to the governor of Bank of Ghana on Thursday, he did not suggest any strategy beyond the hope that the $200 million borrowing from the ECOWAS Bank for Development or whatever, and the additional $300 million from the IMF program, and hopefully the ability to syndicate some loan with Cocoa Board by September. That is the only source of salvation or hope that this administration is building. Curiously, Randy, as we speak, the chair of the economic management team has abandoned his job and is on the campaign trail. He's out there chasing the wind. He's completely left the core job. In fact, his own boss told us that the reason why he is bringing him is that, well, he, even though he studied economics at the university, did not make a trade out of economics. And so he was going to rely on the mind, the vision of Dr. Bawumia. What has been the scorecard of Dr. Bawumia handling this economy in the past 7 years? It has been one problem with the economy after the other. As we speak, we are battling with inflation already. We are battling with high interest rates or lending rates in the banks. We are battling with high unemployment rates. Randy, not long ago, we saw 5 major multinationals leaving Ghana outside. And the analysis is very simple. If you are a multinational, and as of 2016, your revenue, total revenue was, say, maybe 10 million Ghana cedis. For that multinational, it gave them almost $2 million or more. Today, that same 10 million Ghana cedis give that multinational company $700,000. That's loss in value. And as for our brothers and sisters from Guta, the pain is even more serious. Because when they look at the situation where you are an importer, you are bringing, what shall I say, spare parts. You are bringing Obroniwa into the country. And so in 2016, Randy, if you had 1 million Ghana cedis, it was going to give you $250,000 worth of Obroniwa that you would have brought into the country, sell, make your profit, and then move on with your life. Now, because of the depreciation of the cedi, supervised by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, you have a situation where the same 1 million Ghana cedis can only buy $70,000 worth of Obroniwa. And so that woman who is selling Obroniwa at Okanshi or Kantamanto is saying the direct effect of the incompetence of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I am not surprised at all that today he no longer speaks to matters on the economy. He's busy with digitalization and serious jokes. And what we should all recognize is that, look, in the past 7 years, people's wealth, the toy, have completely been wiped away by this administration. And one would expect that in such crisis, leadership response will be some seriousness. But what have you seen, Randy? What have we seen by way of leadership response to the crisis that we are facing? The funniest that I've seen so far is that you have a situation where MPP leadership organizes a program and gives the vice president a steer. That person who is at Kantamanto, Okanshi, who wants to go and do a major import, is busily looking for money. He has to bring in more Ghana cedis in order to get few dollars. These are the concerns of people. And you would expect that the current managers of the economy, led by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, will show some seriousness. That exactly is not what we are saying. And that is why I am not surprised that Guta would issue a statement basically pleading with government and duty bearers that you've taken your eyes off the ball. And by reason of you taking your eyes off the ball, we are suffering. There's so much pain in the country. And so, Randy, we have gotten to a point where, and I've always maintained, if you vote for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, he has no new ideas. In fact, he himself has told his boss, in fact, the boss has told us that if you want to rely on me to salvage this sinking ship, I cannot do anything about it. And as for the president himself, he's checked out. He's he's in the country, but he's not here. The entire economy is on autopilot. How can a government legitimately say that our solution to this problem is relying on borrowed funds? I remember MPP in opposition, Madam Eslausu. He said if governance was all about borrowing, her 19-year-old son could be the president of the republic or could lead this country. Today, if you ask all MPP members, what are you going to do, as it were, to stop the depreciation of the Ghana cedi? Oh, we are expecting $200 million from ECOWAS Bank. We are expecting $300 million from IMF. How did we get here, Randy? How did we get to these sorrowful states where today people cannot even plan? That brings to fore the campaign promise H.E. John Dramani Mahama made when he met GUTA, the Association of Importers and Exporters. And he makes the point that, listen, because of this rapid depreciation, you're unable to plan. And that with the benefit of political power, one of the things that we want to consider is giving you a fixed rate. Not a flat rate as proposed by Dr. Bawumia, but a fixed rate. So that if in 6 months we know that GUTA people have a special arrangement to get the dollar at, say, 9 Ghana cedi to $1, for the next 6 months, that is what it's going to be. So that you can properly plan your life. Because research shows that that is far better than the flat rates that is being proposed. So you have a situation where H.E. John Dramani Mahama is promising, Randy, that will give you a fixed rate for the purposes of planning, predictability in the next 6 months. So that after the 6 months, depending on the state of the economy, a board will sit and review, factoring all kinds of, factors to ensure that these businesses do not suffer like it is going on now. At this rate, Randy, I am afraid, and I say this, that the way things are going, by July, the Ghana cedi will be doing beyond 15 cedis. Some people have suggested that it's already 15 cedis, depending on where you get it. But in terms of official communication, my fear is that if we are not careful, by June, July, we'll be doing the Ghana cedi at 16, 15 Ghana cedi to $1. Randy, imagine having a mortgage facility in dollars and you having to service it. I have a business friend who decided to take a facility outside for a business in Ghana. He said the depreciation of the cedi is giving him blood pressure and headache. And there's no end in sight. So, I think the time had come. I don't remember the last time Bawumia chaired any of the economic management team again. The time had come that he must stop what he's doing, come back, and offer solutions. Because you see, he's still the vice president of the republic. You see, the impression is being created that he has been reshuffled. No. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is still the vice president of the republic. He has not left the job to someone else. And I strongly believe that with the benefit of 5 technical advisors, he should come up with some bold solution. And let me emphasize, bold solution to arrest the dollar, and not the rapid depreciation that we are seeing. These are worrying, seriously worrying times. And the earlier a solution, we get a solution to this problem, the better it will be for the economy, Randy.